Yo, 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 what's up, LA Live gang? What's up, Laker Nation? This is your boy AC, and I'm back with a special live stream Sunday edition of LA Sports Live. First and foremost, we got to salute the Laker greats, um, the Lakers, some of the pioneers, Magic Johnson, James Worthy, the Cap, Kareem Abdul Jabbar. Those are the guys, man. Those are the guys that got me hooked on the Lakers. Oh, we got people in the chat already. Those are the guys who got me hooked on the Lakers, man. Those are the guys who I saw win back-to-back championships, and as a kid, had me thinking that the Lakers are supposed to be in the finals every damn year. Because as a kid, that's what it seemed like they were doing every year to me. They oh shit, Humble just went live. Um, that's what they had me thinking, man. I was a kid. I didn't really understand how basketball went, but every time I turn around, I turn on the TV, I turn on the Channel 9, and I listen to legendary Chick Hearn and Stu Lance. The Lakers are making another playoff run and they go to the finals. This is what I thought was an automatic. This is what I thought the way things are supposed to go. You know, until I started following a little bit more closely and knew, hey, it's not no guarantees in this kind of stuff, no guarantees. But once again, I got salute to Magic, Kareem, Worthy, Byron Scott, Koopaloop, Michael Cooper, Michael Thompson, Superman, Kurt Rambis. Y'all, a lot of people now, y'all talk trash about Kurt Rambis. Y'all don't even know, man. He was a very vital role player, very vital role player for the LA Lakers, man. And that's why he still has an esteemed position right now in the Lakers organization. Salute to everybody in the chat. WW Elite Collector, Kyrie going to be a Laker soon. Everyone in Vegas is saying the deal is done. Well, man, let me tell you, I'm gonna be down there. Let's see. I'm gonna be down there in a matter of 48 hours or so. Myself and Lakers over everything. We've already put in our requests. Myself and Lakers over everything. We already put in our requests for a meeting with Rob Palinka and Sean Marks. Dinner will be on me. I'll buy the steaks. I'll buy the beer or champagne. They probably fucking want to drink champagne or some shit like that. The wine, whatever. But dinner's gonna be on me. And they're not gonna leave Las Vegas unless they have a deal done, or at least they have a deal done in principle to get Kyrie to the Lakers. Uh, what's up to everybody in the chat? Gregory Brown. I heard Kyrie deal's done already. I also heard the announcement expected by July 17th. Don't know how true that is. Man, we've heard a lot of things. We've heard a lot of things. I've seen a lot of things. But I got to get firsthand information. So when I go down there, man, we're going to get the information. We're going to have live videos from Vegas and the Summer League. And my little adventure down there. So you guys stay tuned for that. Yeah, we've heard all those reports, and I tend to think there's some truth to it. But what I really think is holding up the deal is, at first we hear these rumors that they want to do the Kyrie, I mean, excuse me, they want to do the KD deal first, and this is how the Nets prefer to do it. But now I'm starting to believe that. I'm starting to think there's a certain amount of truth to that. But now I can't explain to you the reasoning why the Nets might want to do that. Maybe they want to see, because if they trade Durant, they'll probably get, of course we know what they want, draft pick compensation, but they'll probably get several players too. So if that's the case, they might want to see how their roster looks before they do a deal with the Lakers, because they might have different variations of the deal with the Lakers. They might have variations of the deal when it's just Russ coming their way and eventually being converted to a third team, or they might have a version of the trade where they have other players included, like THT or Kendrick Nunn or Austin Reeves. You never know. So I can see why, it kind of makes sense if that's the way, things are indeed going, why they might just want to wait because they might just want to see how their roster look and they don't want to trade KD for a whole bunch of players when they already might have, a certain type of player lined up with the Kyrie deal. So, but Kyrie Irving trade, that's not the topic at hand. It's not what I want to talk about. It said so everyone down there saying Rob is happy and signing autographs. We'll see, man. We'll see. Yeah, I've heard those reports. There's never a dull moment in LA. I know y'all hear those sirens, but anyway, yeah, that could be very well could be the deal. Yeah, Gregory Brown, that is definitely possible. Everyone in Vegas saying a 4 or 5 team deal: Lakers, Suns, Pacers, Spurs, Nets. All that's possible. Um, it's crazy. Yeah, all that's definitely possible, man. I think it is. I think in order to move a player like KD and to get the kind of compensation the Nets might want, yeah, you're gonna have to get other people involved, man, because you're not there's not there's not that many teams that have everything that the Nets might want for Kevin Durant. There's maybe 1 or 2 teams that have everything. So that's when you got to get creative, and that's when you got to get other teams involved. So we could talk Kyrie later on in the stream. But the purpose of this stream is you guys see the thumbnail, you see the title. Let's get straight to it. Are the Lakers divided over trading for Kyrie Irving? Now there's reports that there's some divide in the front office of the Lakers. There may be a divide between the front office and the pseudo front office of Clutch Sports, being LeBron James and his agency ran by Rich Paul. That there might be some discrepancies going there on there. One camp might want one thing, the other camp might want to do another thing. Um, I don't particularly buy that. I don't. You guys got to remember, every time you hear a story, one way or the other, somebody's putting it out. Are the Lakers putting it out? Is it some shit the media is just making up? Is it the Nets putting it out? You just never know. You never know who it could be coming from, and sometimes there's truth to it, and sometimes there's not. Um, I maybe sort of at first thought maybe it might be some truth to it, but now I'm convinced there's not, because there's plans and there's backup plans. I'll say it again: there's plans and backup plans. Case in point, last what was that, on the day of the draft last year, on the day of the draft when we traded for when we ultimately traded for Russ, they had already announced another deal with the Lakers acquiring the Lakers making that deal with Sacramento and acquiring Buddy Hield. Now that was actually announced first, and then 5 minutes later, oh no, that trade didn't go through. The Lakers are trading for Russell Westbrook. So that right there proves that the Lakers, uh, one could interpret it as uh, them being divided, not knowing what direction they want to go in, or one can look at it as, look, man, they got several irons in the fire, and if one plan don't work, they'll move on to another plan. That's just the way I choose to look at it. But this report that came out the other day with people saying they're not on the same page, and you hear about this deal, and you hear about that deal. You know what? They don't know what the hell they doing. So I don't buy that. And what I think this um, is a calculated attempt by well, I don't know who put this dumbass story out. Maybe the Nets. I don't know. But what's going on with the Lakers is the Lakers have made they they put on a full court press on trying to change things in the media, the media perception of them. They're trying to change the perception of the media. Um, the Lakers have been given a bad rap, especially the front office and the media. It appears, well, it didn't appear on the Anthony Davis deal. They did get kind of punked. They did get raped. But anyway, we won a championship. But there's just a narrative going on now that teams are just kind of having their way with the Lakers. They're making them overpay in trades and trade talks and things of that nature. And I think the Lakers are just tired of it. I think the Lakers are just tired of it. So I think every little thing that's going on with the Lakers in the media this offseason has been calculated. To me, it's been calculated. And I'm going to break it down. And I got my talking points here: one, two, three, four, five, 6 or 7 talking points. I'm going to prove to you guys that this is nothing, there's no confusion. Everybody's on the same page, including Jeannie, Rob, LeBron, Darvin Ham, Clutch Sports. They all on the same page, man. Trust me. Trust and believe me. Um, they on the same page. Some people think that LeBron and Clutch Sports run the Lakers. No, the fuck they don't. No, the fuck they don't. Y'all gotta remember, man. Y'all gotta remember. And I've been on this channel, and I have critiqued Jeannie when I felt like it was necessary. But y'all gotta remember, man. Jeannie has been in the mix. She's been doing this shit in so many different capacities. But as far as being involved with the Lakers, she's been doing this shit longer than LeBron, and she's been doing it than LeBron's been alive. She's been doing it and involved in these business negotiations and the business of the NBA longer than Rich Paul's been alive. So for people to disrespect her, she's not a basketball person, but let's just say to disrespect her basketball business operations acumen, to disrespect her ability to be able to handle and deal with star players. You guys got it wrong. You guys acting like you guys think LeBron James is the first player for the Lakers to put heat on them, to put pressure on them, to voice his opinion, about how he wants things to go. He ain't the first one. Out of all the Laker greats, you don't think Magic had anything to say? You don't think Kareem? You know damn well Kareem has something to say. We know damn well Magic has stuff to say. We know damn well Kobe has stuff to say. We know damn well Shaq had things to say. We've heard them on record saying they've gone to Laker management, say, hey, I want this, I want that, I want you to trade for that guy, I want you to do this, I want this amount of money or whatever, I'm gone. It's happened. The only difference is with LeBron and all these other guys is those other guys, they never really push back publicly. You know what I'm saying? All their things they usually did was usually private. The difference with LeBron and Clutch Sports and these guys is they'll go public on your ass. They'll give a call or they'll give a text to Woj, or they'll give a call and give a text to Shams, or they'll give a call to a Laker beat writer and say, hey, I got something to say. I want you to put this out there. And this is how it happened. So anyway, let me document on how I feel things went down with the Lakers this offseason. And if anybody wants to come in, maybe I'll drop the link if I have time. But this is just how I think things went down. And I got it in chronological order. So let's go back to February 27th-ish. The Lakers are getting their ass kicked as they have several times this past season. And you guys remember, if you follow the Lakers, you remember that Jeannie Buss sitting in the stands, watching another Laker blowout, and she storms out of her seat. She gets, and they make a big deal about it. They put it on the cable, they put it on ESPN, and Jeannie storms out of her seat and goes to the back in disgust. Lakers are getting their ass kicked again. You know what I'm saying? When I saw that, and I was like, man, that lady is pissed off. She's upset. She's mad. And this ain't going to be the last that we hear of it. So let's fast forward to that. Of course, the season ends. The Lakers do not make the playoffs. They do not make the play in. They win a measly amount of 33 games. It's just basically an embarrassment. I'm a Laker fan. I'm a diehard fan. I could say it. It was some people. Laker Nation says the worst history of the Lakers. I don't know if it's the worst, but it's the worst one I've seen in a long time. And shit was terrible. The Lakers were routinely embarrassed on national TV. That was some bullshit. And I knew Jeannie wasn't going to just let it go without doing something. You fast forward to May 11th, 2022. Jeannie Buss does an interview with Bill Plaschke in the LA Times. Now, he says that he called her and she was more than willing to talk. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. She called him. I don't care what nobody says. She called him and said, "Hey, I got some shit to say, and I need to get this ship turned in the right direction." In that interview, Jeannie Buss expressed she wasn't happy about how things turned in this season, and when she was very much displeased with it. Very much displeased that the team did not make the playoffs. Very much displeased that she had to pay all that damn money in luxury tax. You know, she didn't mind paying the money, but she ain't paying that kind of money for the team to be trash. So she's pissed off. So Plaschke goes on to ask her, all the normal questions or whatever. And of course, he can't have an interview with her without bringing up Russell Westbrook. Jeannie knows that he's going to bring up Westbrook. I believe that it kind of went something like this. He asks her, what's your first order of business in this off season? Is it to trade Russell Westbrook? And she said, no, we need a coach because we know the Lakers, when the season was over, they fired their coach. And then she says, no, our first thing that we got up on the menu is we got to find us a coach, and we're going to do a lengthy search and this and that and this and that. And that's what they did. The Lakers kind of went on a slow, methodical search for a coach. They didn't make the popular choice. A lot of people, including me, we kind of wanted Mark Jackson. They didn't go with the popular choice in him. They didn't go with a damn retread like Mike Brown or Terry Stotts. They decided to go in a total different direction and hire, most people are saying, the top assistant that was available in the league in Darvin Ham. And on top of that, they did something they didn't do with Frank Vogel. They allowed him to hire his own staff and pretty much, man, gave him the keys to the kingdom. Say, hey, man, you're our man. We're going to let you hire who you want to hire, build the team that you want to build the team that you think that you need, the type of assistants that you need to kind of change things up, change the culture a little bit. And for that, I give them credit. They didn't really harp too much on Russell Westbrook because guess what? They already had ulterior motives and agenda. Now everybody and their mama knows that given the opportunity, the Lakers would love to get rid of Russell Westbrook. But if you look at everything they've done and everything they've said in the media, they've said contrary to that. You know, to the point where they're even using Darvin Ham. They're even using Darvin Ham to push the narrative. And it started right at his press conference about how they're happy with Russ. They're more than willing to keep Russ. They got big plans for Russ. He went on to talk about how he was going to use Russ and how Russ is bought in and how he's going to get Russ playing defense and that he's been sitting down having steak dinners with Russ and it's going to be on and popping. And Kyrie, who? They're trying to act publicly. They're trying to act like they're not even thinking about Kyrie. That's the perception they're trying to put forth in the media because they don't want to seem desperate so teams can fuck them and bend them over and just take everything that they have whenever trade talks come down the line. Even though all the trade talks have been going on behind the scenes, or in many cases publicly, the Lakers have kept going. They've kept being steadfast and saying, "Hey, man, we're perfectly happy with the team that we have. We're perfectly happy with the team that we have, and if we have to move forward with Russ, if we have to move forward with Anthony Davis, and of course LeBron James, we will, and we'll be happy about it." The Lakers went on. Free agency started. They built their team. I know they took note of what was going on in the playoffs. They saw a lot of teams. Definitely, you got to have all-star talent to compete in this league and win a championship. And obviously, the Golden State Warriors have several all-stars or perennial all-stars, and so the Lakers have talent. But I think what they decided and what they saw is they had to improve on the overall athleticism of their team, and they need to get younger because there were several times in the Laker throughout the Laker season last year where they just got ran off the floor, bro. They just got ran off the floor, and it wasn't even always that some of these all these teams were better than the Lakers. They were just trying. They were just trying harder. They were just putting in more effort. And them old dudes, you know what I'm saying? Once things got bad, they weren't gonna exert the type of energy. They weren't gonna exert the kind of energy needed in order for them to turn it around. And the shit just spiraled. They weren't gonna exert the kind of energy needed. Would you shut your ass up? Talking to myself. They weren't gonna exert that kind of energy, man. They weren't gonna be out there busting their ass, getting steals, jumping the passing lanes to get steals, to get turnovers, grabbing on the rebounds, diving on the floor to get deep. Them old dudes wasn't gonna do that, man. They only had a couple players that was willing to get down and dirty. Stanley Johnson, Austin Reeves, THT a little bit. They only had a few players. Kent Bazemore a little bit when he got time. They only had few little players who was willing to do the dirty work. Uh, and even them, they're going to get disheartened. Excuse me, or they going to, when the losses start just compiling up, they just, they're gonna throw in the towel too. Shit. If you see the superstars not giving 100%, if you see the superstars stat pattern, and I'm not talking shit about anybody, but fuck it. If the season is a loss, if the season is trash, if the season you can't salvage it, there's nothing else to do but to get your damn stats. So I don't blame nobody for doing that. I don't blame anybody for doing that. But just once things get bad, they get bad. So I can't really really hate on anybody on how things eventually turned out because it is what it is. But somebody came out with this story about there's a divide with the Lakers. There's issues with Jeannie Buss and LeBron James. Some people, even include myself, maybe kind of thought that tweet that Jeannie put out, that she was indirectly trying to bash LeBron James. I don't think so. Now I don't think so. I can't tell you exactly what I can't tell you exactly what her angle was. I can't really tell you, but I don't think it was a shot at LeBron James. I think they're pretty much on the same. I think the Lakers organization, LeBron James, are on the same page. But you can be on the same page. You can be on the same page with a motherfucker, but still look out for your best interests, right? You can be on the same page with somebody, but still look out for your own individual interests. LeBron, he's always going to be looking out for the best interests of LeBron. The Lakers have smartened up, in my opinion. The Lakers have smartened up. The first couple seasons, they had their heads firmly up LeBron's ass and did anything and everything he wanted. But I think they soon realized after last season, after the terrible debacle it turned into, the Lakers are like, all right, enough is enough. We got to have control of our franchise. We got to have control of our franchise. We're going to take control of our franchise back. We're not going to diss our star player, but we're just not going to do. They're just not going to do everything that he asked. They're not going to do everything he asked because, case in point, what's up, Blue Bolt? Salute LA Live. They're gonna drop the ball on this thing, but I still think something's fishy about the whole thing. And Kyrie, hey, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out, man. But you don't think they're gonna be able to make the deal? We'll see. We'll see. But one thing, let me tell you guys something, man. I know there's a lot of different people who listen to not just my channel, but it's a lot of people who listen, let's say, to other people in this niche. It's a lot of you got all kind of people who listen to Ticket. You got all kind of people who listen to Bang. You got all kind of people who listen to Kareem. You got all kind of people that listen to Dan the Lakers fan. I'm just talking about the big YouTubers who talk about the Lakers. You got all kind of people. They're Laker fans. You got LeBron fans. You got Laker fans that hate. You got all kind of fucking people. I don't know. But let me tell you guys this, man. One thing for certain, two things for sure. If the Lakers land Kyrie Irving and bring him to the Lakers and reunite him with LeBron James, you guys who are LeBron fans and all that shit, you gotta stop talking shit about the Lakers. You gotta stop talking shit about the Lakers and stop talking shit about the Lakers front office. Now, I mean, I'm cool with everybody. This is a place for everybody. Everybody can come here. But you can't keep questioning the Lakers' commitment to their star players. You can't keep questioning the Lakers' commitment to their star player, LeBron James. They traded every fucking thing. First of all, they got rid of every fucking body to get him. Players like Julius Randle, Jordan Clarkson, and all that shit. They got rid of all those players to make room for him. Then they get here. Then he gets here. He gets hurt the first season. Shit, that shit is understandable. Shit happens. Then he gets old. He was bound to get hurt sooner or later. There's nothing you can do about it. Ain't nobody crying about that. So you fast forward to the second season. The Lakers they do their thing, and they move heaven and earth. They move every fucking asset, damn near every fucking asset they have to get him Anthony Davis. To get him the kind of player that he need. We couldn't get no punk ass Paul George, punked out. Kawhi punked out. Couldn't get nobody else, so we got him a top 5 player to come to LA to run with him. It was probably all his idea to begin with, but the Lakers did it. They traded several players, several draft picks. All them damn players that they traded, they weren't just like one and done players. All them guys signed multi-year extensions. It wasn't like they were bum ass players that the Lakers got rid of. How much money did Lonzo sign up for in his extension in his new deal with the Bulls? How much shit? Brandon Ingram got over $100 million. Even Josh Hart got re-signed. So those weren't no bum ass players that the Lakers gave up to get Anthony Davis for LeBron. Now, fast forward to this offseason. If the Lakers once again move heaven and earth to try to get somebody else in here, it ain't just for LeBron, it's for the Lakers too. It's actually for the future. They want somebody for the future to run here with Anthony Davis. I get it. But if the Lakers pull the trigger in the course of 3 years, in the course of 3 fucking years, if the Lakers pull the trigger and trade for Anthony Davis to get to run with LeBron James, and then the next year or whatever they trade for Russell Westbrook to get to run with that LeBron James in this offseason. If the deal gets done like everybody says it is, if they do that and bring Kyrie Irving to the fucking LA Lakers, you guys who are LeBron James fans, you better stop talking. Well, I can't tell you what to do. Let me calm down. Let me calm down. But come on, it's not fair. It's not fair for you guys' criticism of the Lakers when they fucking traded for three Hall of Fame players to help LeBron James, help the Lakers get back on top and win championships. So now you guys, you don't have to say nothing. You sit back and think about it and marinate on it. But I don't, that's sometimes I just have to stay away from certain things because criticism is fine. Warranted criticism is fine, but simply the facts of the matter of this matter is they're not that the Lakers are not doing everything to compete and to bring a championship, and more importantly, to bring help to LeBron James. That wouldn't be accurate. Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, and maybe Kyrie Irving. What the fuck? They moving heaven and earth, just trying to get to try to be competitive. Shit, you can't just get everybody. Shit, just motherfuckers got limited resources. So that's just one thing that kind of irritates me, and I'm not saying nothing about anybody personally, but when I hear people say the Lakers are full of shit, they're not being fair with LeBron. They're not listening to his star player. How many fucking clutch players have we had on our roster the last 3 or 4 seasons? And it started with KCP before LeBron even got here. How many? About 20 probably. About 20 total clutch clients that have been on the Lakers. Maybe some guys that shouldn't have been. Maybe some guys who other teams didn't want to wait. They didn't want. Nobody wanted Deion Waiters. And he was actually good until he got hurt in the bubble. But nobody wanted Deion Waiters. And the Lakers brought him in to try to help LeBron and help us win a championship. So again, I'm just saying, when I hear people talk about, hey, the Lakers are full of shit and they just bullshitting and all this kind of stuff, and they not really trying to help LeBron, whatever, that's bullshit. And I'll debate anybody on that because all I have to do is say three fucking names: Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, and maybe Kyrie Irving. Can the Cleveland Cavaliers say that? He was there 7 years. Who did they get? Who did they get to come run with LeBron James? Andrew Wiggins? Kevin Love? Kevin Love they traded for. Kyrie Irving they drafted. But who did they get? Who did they trade heaven and earth for to get to run with LeBron James? Nobody. Nobody of note. Nobody worth talking about. So come on, guys. You guys got to be fair with this criticism of the Lakers organization and this criticism of Laker Nation. Fair criticism, I'll welcome fair criticism over here. But just blatantly say the Lakers are full of shit and they're incompetent, they're wasting LeBron James' time, man, come on now. You got to have a better argument than that. When they've arguably traded for 3 top 75 players of all time to get the nigga help. And I'm not saying that to diminish LeBron James in any way. But some of the criticism for the Lakers front office, I believe, is unwarranted. So anyway, back to the topic. I don't think there's any divide amongst the Lakers front office. Drink a little water here. And I don't think there's a divide between the Lakers and, and LeBron's camp. This whole situation with the Nets, some people think, look, what's so hard? Russ for Kyrie and 2 picks. Do it. Get it done. No, it's not that simple. It's not that fucking simple, man. You don't just trade players the caliber of Kyrie Irving. You don't just trade players the caliber of Kevin Durant like that. You gotta dot all your I's. You gotta cross all your T's. You can't leave no stone unturned to try to make sure you get the best deal. You gotta call all your damn contacts to see if anybody's interested. You gotta call all your damn contacts to see if they have a some type of asset that they might want to let go, that they can help you make this trade, get this trade done. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. You got to do all those things. So that's why it's probably taking so long. For one, just think about it. Just think about what we've heard, what the Nets want for Kevin Durant. After that dumbass Denver Utah trade, which messed everything up when they gave up all them damn picks. Hell, now the Nets are probably figuring, hell, if if Utah can get, what they got, 4 or 5 first round picks for Rudy Gobert. Well, hell, if they could get that for Rudy Gobert, we ought to get 20 first round picks for Kevin Durant. Now I know I'm being a little bit ridiculous, but I'm just saying this is probably what they're thinking. Who gonna give up? Who the hell gonna give up 6 or 7 first round picks for anybody? Let alone Kevin Durant. Y'all think Kevin Durant is really worth 6 first round picks? The fuck out of here. He's old as fuck. Well, he's 33, coming off Achilles 2 years ago. Nobody talks about that. And on top of that, every year he's been back, he gets hurt. He's always, I don't know the exact numbers, but every year since he's come back, he's missed extended time. That ain't gonna change. You think he ain't no way he gonna come back and play 82 games this season or the next season or the next season. He'll probably play around about 60. If nothing else, crazy happens, he'll probably play around 60 to 65 games. Ain't no team gonna give up all that for Kevin Durant. Should even know if he's fucking Kevin Durant. Eric Kwan, salute to Eric Kwan. Eric Kwan said Kyrie not worth first round pick. I mean, if you're bidding, look, if you're the only one bidding for him, let's say, because everybody keeps saying the Lakers are the only one that want him. So I was talking to Lakers over everything yesterday. I'm like, you know what? Because the report came out that the Lakers they're not even offering a first round pick for Kyrie. Shit, if I was him, you're right, Eric Kwan, I wouldn't do it either. Initially, no, I wouldn't. On my first offer for Kyrie, no, I wouldn't put a first round pick in there. Shit, if I'm the only one pitching them for Kyrie, why should I? You start low, you go high. Would I eventually give up picks for him? Yes, but not in my initial trade offer. No, that's just that's just that's just the way that's just the way negotiations go. Now, as far as my understanding now, Eric, that I'm in LA. You don't the COVID restriction stuff and all that stuff is getting lowered. So this thought and notion that Kyrie is going to be a part-time player, um at this point, I don't know. I have to really check, man, but I don't think they're requiring people to be vaccinated. I don't think he's going to have to be vaccinated. So as far as I know, he'll be a full-time player, and I don't think the Lakers are going to trade for him if he's going to be part-time. That should just be out the question. That would be stupid. That would be disastrous. And if they do that, they're just a bunch of dumbasses if they do that. But I don't think that's an issue. I don't think that's an issue anymore. Everything out here, they're just like, it is what it is now, because the COVID numbers out here are actually kind of crazy. higher than they were last year at this time, and they just operating full steam ahead, like nothing happened. So I don't foresee that being a issue. What's up to everybody in the chat? What's up to my main man? Lakers over everything. Um, so that's just what I think the situation is, guys. I don't know. I don't know what your opinion is. If you worried about this trade getting done, or I don't know, do you guys think the trade will be done? WWE Elite, he definitely thinks he definitely thinks the trade will get done. I think the trade is gonna get done, man. I think the trade is gonna get done. Um, you know, hopefully, I was thinking I put like this. I think both trades will be done. I think the Kyrie trade and I think the Kevin Durant trade will be done before Summer League is over with. And Summer League is not like it's over tomorrow. I think we got a good at least. I think we got at least another good 10 or 12 days left with Summer League. So I think by the time Summer League is over, or shortly thereafter, this trade will be done. Both trades will be done, uh, and then we can move on from all this, drama field trade or no trade, Kyrie no or no Kyrie, or whatever the case may be. I just think the shit's getting old, it's getting played, and I'm tired of talking about it. Gregory Brown, Lakers give a first for Schroeder and Westbrook. Definitely should give a yeah for sure, man. I'm on the same page, bro. Like I said, when it dust settles, when the dust settles, and the Nets say, "Look, make your best and final fucking offer." After this discussion, we ain't gonna talk Kyrie trade, talk no more. We're gonna keep him, and if he plays, he plays. When the Nets finally tell the Lakers to put up or shut up, or we're gonna end negotiations, the Lakers will trade picks, preferably one, or they may trade two to get Kyrie, because in the grand scheme of things, forget what you think, forget how you feel about him personally, and you can't ignore it. You can't ignore it, but in the end, you mentioned Schroeder and Westbrook. Kyrie, Kyrie is way better than both of them guys right now. So when you talk just in terms of natural talent, natural basketball talent, yes, they should trade at least one first round pick for Kyrie. But what I was speaking of is just initial negotiations. I don't I wouldn't put my best foot forward. Why? That's just me. That's just me. I'm hearing the KD thing is a holding things up, might be a 4 or 5 team deal in the works, but the Kyrie to the Lakers part of it is already pretty much been agreed upon. I've heard that too. We've heard it reported multiple times, from the summer league, from people at the summer league, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram. It's what people are saying. I mean, I don't know if it's true or not, man. Like I said, we're gonna find out when we go down there on Tuesday. When we have our meeting with Rob and Sean Marks, and whoever the hell else is down there with Woj. Shit, we're gonna find out. We're gonna get firsthand information. But look, it's very rarely now. It's very rarely, like the last big trade that I've seen. Um, with players of the magnitude of Kevin Durant or Kyrie Irving. I'm trying to remember, but the last time I seen just a straight up 2 team deal with players of that magnitude was like the Lakers and the Pelicans trade. That's the last time I really seen when players of that magnitude got moved, and when there was only 2 teams involved. In that case, it was the Lakers and the Pelicans. So, when it, like I said, like I was saying earlier, when you don't forget Kyrie, when you're just talking about Kevin Durant, and I know I kind of, downplayed his trade value a little bit, but I mean, he's still Kevin Durant. What really messed up things was that damn dumbass Denver Utah trade. I think the Nets would have been perfectly happy accepting two of the three first round picks for Kevin Durant. I think they would have been perfectly happy. And then on top of that, what they were asking for, an All Star player and all that other kind of stuff, I think they would have been perfectly happy taking three first round picks for Kevin Durant. But then when old dumbass, is it whoever? No, Minnesota. Well, I kept saying Denver, whatever. Oh, dumbass Minnesota gives up all those damn picks for Rudy Gobert. Now, now that jacked up the market. That jacked up the market, man. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Gregory Brown says his final offer would be Westbrook, THT, 27, 29 first round picks for Kyrie, Harris, and Curry. Um, well, it's like this, man. You didn't put Kendrick Nunn in there, but okay. Let's see, 47, 58, 37. So that's $58 million with the Lakers. 57, $58 million for the Lakers going out, and 37. So that's close. That's close. Money wise, that's close for Gregory Brown's deal. That's close. But what I was thinking, look, if you move Russ, I've heard Russ, THT, and Kendrick Nunn. So the thing is, if you move, shit, that's three guards. That's three guards. If you got three guards going out now, look now, think about that. Now hold on now, that's three guards, and that's three guards you send out that can handle the basketball. All right, so that's a word of caution right there because now the Lakers are going to be limited in ball handlers if they make that deal like that, and they're going to be limited in playmakers, guys who can get their own shot because Westbrook, THT, and Kendrick Nunn can all get their own shot. These guys that the Lakers signed in off season, man, it's not they're not quite as crafty as far as getting their own shots compared to the three guys they would be sending out in that deal. But if you get Curry, that'll solve your issue about a shooter. And if you get Harris, that will also solve part of your problem with another 3 point shooter and another small wing player, which the Lakers don't have. So yeah, I mean, I'll take it. I'm just, I mean, nobody stays hurt for the most part. Nobody stays hurt from an ankle forever. So I'm just going to assume. I'm just going to assume, even if he needs some more time, I'm just going to assume that Joe Harris is going to be healthy at some point this year. Let's just give him that. I just assume he'll be healthy at some point this year. So I wouldn't mind trading for him. Lakers over everything says Russ will go to the Spurs and they will waive him so he can go wherever he wants. So he's coming out on top two. That's great. Gets his money and goes to sign wherever he wants. That's 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 true. That's true. That's true. So in that scenario, yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. So wouldn't that create a trade exception or a pretty sizable trade exception or something for the Nets? Not for sure. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. WWE, he doesn't want to trade. He doesn't want to trade none too. And yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily want to trade none too, man, because I don't want to depend on LeBron. I want to curtail his minutes. If we get Kyrie this year, I want to curtail LeBron's minutes. So I don't want him paying 35, 36 minutes a game this season. I want his minutes to be curtailed. But if we trade away all our damn point guards, if we trade away all our damn ball handlers, that's going to be an issue. And that may be why the Lakers are working out point guards because they may indeed know that this deal is a done deal, and that they are going to be short on ball handlers, and which is why they're working out point guards. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen, man. But Collector Seven says I would love to have. Man, I haven't given up. I haven't given up on K Nunn yet, man. I mean, I haven't given up on him yet. Last season was last season. Things happen. I would like to see him get an opportunity to prove himself. I'd like to see him get an opportunity to prove himself. But how the Lakers' salaries are structured, there's only so many people who are actually making money. So he's making $5 million. So it's not almost a requirement, but he's almost has to be included in most of these deals for his salary. Lakers over everything. Yeah, if we can keep none, that would be great. But if one of those teams want him, we may have to lose him. They may have to bring up Scottie Pippen Jr. if we can't. Yeah, yeah, that may happen. It may happen as well, man. I mean, you know, sometimes you get these young players, man. You just have to fucking play them, bro. Other teams do it. Other teams they're just like, hey, we're gonna play the guy. Ups and downs, turnovers, bad games or bad games. They just, they just play them. And and the Lakers lately, the last few years, they haven't really given many young players opportunities. But look at what happened. Excuse me. It was mostly because of injury. But look at what happened last year with Austin Reeves. You know, now I know Austin Reeves is a marginal player. I don't think Austin Reeves will ever be an all star or nothing nowhere near. I don't think he'll be anything near that. But he was just a young player who got an opportunity, who played hard. He made the most of his opportunity. There's a young man who played hard, made the most of his opportunity, and he has limited talent. Most people would say he has limited talent, and I would agree with that. But they played him. He got the minutes, and he produced. Now, just imagine if a younger player with a better skill set and a better upside would have got the kind of run that Austin Reeves got last season. That just would have been another good young player the Lakers had a chance to develop, man. So you can't just shy away, man. The Lakers cannot just shy away from playing these young dudes, man. We gotta get some of these young dudes some run in there. Gregory Brown, yeah, stay away from Collinson. Lakers need to stay away from these old washed up players. Man, he's been floating on the perimeter, bro, for the last few seasons, man. He's not gonna look. Collinson is not gonna play for nobody else except the Lakers. So he's not gonna play for nobody else. So if they bring him in, it's because they're familiar with them or whatever. And besides that, if you look at the Lakers roster, they do need a veteran for that bench. They do need a veteran for that bench. So that might be one of the reasons why they're looking at Collison. Lakers over everything says Schroeder could be an option. Schroeder could be an option. I don't think. The thing is, I didn't think the AD on the court. I don't think AD really meshed with Schroeder, but off the court they were the best of friends. So I don't necessarily know how LeBron and AD would feel about Dennis Schroeder coming back. Um, Dennis Schroeder, uh, he may have been humble. The things that have happened to him since he left the Lakers may have humbled him a little bit. So maybe that might be an avenue they could explore. I don't think he wants to play for a minimum. He held out to the last minute last year, and he was able to get a deal without taking a minimum. So I don't know. Maybe he think he can do that again. Greg Brown. Now you don't want Schroeder either. Yeah, been there, done that. I agree. But the guy is talented, man. The guy is talented. He can distribute the ball a little bit. He can play defense, and he can score. So that might be something that the Lakers feel that they need on that bench. Lakers over everything. Once we get Kyrie, there will be guys who want buyouts to come and play with us. So we'll get a point guard. I'm not too worried, but yeah, it's gonna be a long season, man. It's gonna it's gonna be a long season. So we're gonna see a lot of people. We're gonna see a lot of people come and go. So that's for sure. Schroeder can still be a very good as a six man. I agree. I agree. I agree. Shit, you know what, man? The thing that really jacked him up, one of the things that jacked him up, him demanding to be a starter. You know, that just changed everything, man. I don't know, that got me off on the wrong foot with him. Him demanding to be a starter and all that kind of stuff. And like I just said, maybe he's been humbled a bit since since the events of the last couple years. I still follow him on his YouTube page, man. He done been through a lot of stuff, bro. He done been through a lot of shit the last 2 seasons, man. Personal stuff between him and his wife and his family. He got, they had COVID running through their camp. He was sick on top of with other stuff on top of that. Dennis been through a lot of shit the last 2 seasons, on and off the court, being traded a couple times. So he's been through a lot since leaving the Lakers, man. So his ideas, his perspective, he might be a lot more. He might be a lot more humble if he were to come back um, to the Lakers. Gregory Brown says I'd bring in Pippen. Man, it's you know what, bro. Um, I agree. We got to get these kids some run. But when you look at the Lakers bench as it's presently constructed, you don't have a Jared Dudley. You don't have a Markeith Morris. You know what I'm saying? You don't have a DJ, even though DJ was trash. You don't have a DeAndre Jordan to be on the bench to say the right things, to do the right things. You don't have a Rajon Rondo to coach up the younger players. To coach them up, to teach them, to motivate them, and all that kind of stuff. You don't have those kind of players on that bench. So, um, they might save a spot for a player like that. Not necessarily somebody who they're dependent on to play, but they might just save a spot for a bench, a locker room guy. In other words, a locker room guy. Yeah, Schroeder would thrive in a 6 man role. It's a different situation this time. He won't be. Man, man, I agree. I agree. It would just all depend on his mindset, man. It would just all depend on his mindset because see a lot of people, people are talking about this 4 out and one in offense that Darvin Ham's going to run. But the thing about it is, and a lot of people are expecting, assuming that's going to be 80, the one in all the time. But from what I've seen in that offense, they put a lot of people in that position, not just Giannis or not just they had like 3 or 4 different people, 2 or 3 different people they will put in that position. So it don't necessarily have to be Anthony Davis. So this offense that they're going to run, man, it's going to be advantageous for a lot of people to get their game off. And the only really requirement is going to be they got to make open shots. That's basically going to be the only requirement because we got the players with the caliber of LeBron, AD, and maybe Kyrie on the floor. They're going to draw so much attention. All the other guys are going to do is they just have to be They just have to make shots. That's all they're gonna have to do. WWE Elite Collector 7. What is Pat? Man, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. What if Pat Bev gets bought out? Now, let me tell you something. My hate and disdain for Pat Beverly has been well documented on this channel. I made I made several videos about, I call him Old Nappy Head. I made several videos about Old Nappy Head. But it's a big ass but. But if he becomes available, now that's a player that you got to get. You got to get. And I don't even give a damn if he makes one damn shot. His mental toughness, his attitude, the dog in him, that shit rubs off. That shit rubs off on his teammates, and that's for sure. That's somebody you that's somebody you keep an eye out on. Now, if he gets bought out, if he gets bought out, he'll have his choice of where he wanted to go. He will want to go to. Now, would he pick the Lakers over the Clippers? Going back to the Clippers, would he do that? Would he do that? I don't know. I don't know. The Clippers have a pretty damn good team. If you add him, he doesn't necessarily have to play, but they would be getting him for his locker room presence as well. So, would he pick the Lakers over the Clippers? I don't know. I don't know. Lakers over everything. I don't understand why we didn't bring back Melo to. Yeah, maybe after the Kyrie trade. Yeah, that's possible. That's possible. They might be telling Melo to wait. But you know what, man? Um, when I heard Melo's exit interview, he pretty much sounded like he was ready to close this chapter of his career with the Lakers. That's the way it sounded to me. That he was, saying his goodbyes to Lakers Nation. So I don't know if he'd be even interested in coming back. Excuse me. Expectations me. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right, bro. But you're right about Phil Handy can take on that role. But man, Phil Handy's been there all this time on the bench. He's been there all this time on the bench in the locker room, and it's different. It's different with a coach and a player, man. It's different. It's different from a coach calling out players and talking shit versus a player who's actually out there playing. Man, it's a little bit different, man. It's a little bit different, and it's no disrespect to Phil Handy because we love Phil Handy, but see, players only gonna respect certain coaches so much. And Phil Handy was a player, but I don't think he ever played in the league. And some players just got this thing is their respect is only gonna go so far for players who never played in the league. But now the Lakers have a head coach who played in the league. So, I don't know. We'll see. But we shouldn't have those issues that we had last season with like Russ disrespecting the coach and not, all that other kind of stuff. I keep getting all these damn notifications, but not the one I'm looking for. But we shouldn't have this issue because I think Darvin Ham he's gonna have control of that locker room, man. He's gonna have these guys set straight and focused. Gregory Brown. I see Lonnie Walker, Tony Brown Jr. Be still. Let me tell you something about those guys. Now, even though they asked Tony Brown Jr. specifically about his little press conference with the Lakers, they asked him specifically about what went down with the Lakers last season and Malik Monk, how the Lakers gave him an opportunity and he flourished and he was able to turn that into $20 million. Now Tony Brown tried to act like, yeah, I saw it, but I saw it, but it wasn't like no big thing to him or whatever, and I got to make decisions. That nigga saw it. He saw it. He's not a dummy. He's not a dummy. These players who sign, look, think about it. These players who sign to come on with the Lakers, to come on as bench players and role players for the Lakers, they know they got two star players who tend to get hurt. Okay, that's just the bottom line. And they're about to trade for another player, star player, who kind of has a little checkered past with injuries. Now these guys are not dummy. They playing chess, not checkers. Now they know that. So if I were them, and I'm pretty sure they're thinking the same thing. I'm thinking that they're thinking at some point in time they will get a opportunity to play extended minutes, because even if these guys don't get hurt, even if AD don't get hurt, even LeBron don't get hurt, even if we get Kyrie and Kyrie don't get hurt, they will be getting rested. You know, they will be getting rested. So these guys, I think that's another reason why some of them decide to sign with the Lakers, because they just really believe at some point or another, um, that they will get an opportunity with the Lakers. And a perfect example of that. You get two perfect examples of that last year. Two perfect examples of that. Malik Monk and Austin Reeves. They got a lot of burn last season, bro. A lot of burn last season. Malik, he's streaky, but for the most part, bro, shit. At one point in time, he was like the second best player. So he worked hard. He took advantage of his opportunity. He got paid. He got the bag, and ain't nobody ever, even on this channel, we ain't gonna hate on nobody who takes advantage of opportunity and gets paid. That's just the bottom line. Except Damian Lillard. But that's another video. Yeah, he said WWE Lee said if he's a free agent, he would definitely sign with the Lakers. Yeah, I heard him say that he would definitely like to sign with the Lakers. I mean, he would. I didn't hear him say he'll sign with the Lakers. I just heard him say, given the opportunity, he would love to play with LeBron. So we'll see. Yeah, yeah, that's what he said. That's what he said. Gregory Brown. He would jump at the opportunity to play with LeBron and the Lakers. Yeah, all these young players are great signings and give us solid depth. Just have to land Kyrie and a shooter to make us complete. Yeah, yeah. If this team just stays exactly the way it is, we might be in a little trouble. We're gonna have to make some moves later on in the season. But I think some trades are gonna go down. I think some moves are gonna be made, and the roster is gonna be a little bit different. And I think the roster is gonna end up being a little bit more complete, because right now, right now we're kind of in the same situation as last year with a few too many guards. And not enough people over like 6'8". Lakers over everything. Yeah, it's a perfect opportunity for young players looking to get paid. You get the spotlight and an opportunity to contribute when your numbers call, and an opportunity to win. Monk opened a big door for us. So yeah, man. The Lakers took a chance. Um, it was well documented on both sides. The Lakers were ecstatic to get him. They tried to get him the previous season. They were able to get him for the minimum. They were pleasantly surprised by that. Malik Monk said publicly many times the only team that called was the Lakers. Now, how do you think that made him feel? First of all, nobody wanted him but the Lakers. And so now, when he finally does get a call, and it is with the Lakers, if you got any kind of drive or willpower or desire to be a success in the NBA, which he does, you're going to take advantage of that opportunity. And he did. Salute to Malik Monk, man. I was kind of sad to see him go, but hey, you gotta get that paper, man. You gotta get that paper. That 20 million, that could be a game changer. You know what I'm saying? That could be a game changer for him and his family, man. So gotta get that paper. Gotta get that paper. I think the Lakers, if I'm not mistaken, they do have a summer league game tonight. Oh man, my phone tripping. I ain't feel like bother with that. But I think the Lakers, they do have a summer league game tonight, so we're gonna peep that out. Dante talks. Hold on, Dante talks Lakers and is in the chat. So I got to salute to Dante. See what he's talking about. In the future, the Lakers are going to have to learn how to keep solid role players as trade assets if they need to make a trade. That's one of our biggest problems, not having play. Yeah, man. You know what, bro? I said that. Now I understand why the Lakers didn't do it, but I think I was talking to Kareem and I was like, man, why don't they keep THT and Caruso? Because they could have kept both of them. Now I know. Now we know, why they had to make a choice. I mean, they had to pay THT, and why Alex Caruso would have been a nice piece to keep. You can't really justify spending $30 million on Alex Caruso. I mean, with that luxury cap hit, you cannot really justify doing that. But I understand what you're saying. Um, So like the Lakers' young role players, like let's say Austin Reeves, Stanley Johnson, William Gabriel, they ought to be cautious with just throwing these guys out with yesterday's bathwater or however the shit goes. Yeah, they gotta be careful doing that. And I think moving forward, you're gonna see them, make a conscious effort. Yeah, a conscious effort not to do that. Yeah, yeah, we both understand what the deal was with that. And there's another thing that Lakers Nation was kind of pointing out that the Lakers are kind of screwing up about how they do these contracts with these younger players because um, they should have had these guys. They weren't high. I mean, they're undrafted. They could have signed these guys to like a 3 year. They could sign them to like a 3 year deal or something like that instead of 2 years. Because if they have one good year, then the next year they're going into a contract year. Because look at we keep talking about I keep talking about Austin Reeves, but look at Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves put his best foot forward last season. And, he was a solid rotation player. He had his ups and downs, but it was looked at as a positive. But guess what? After this season, he'll be a free agent. Now, shit. What if he has? What? Let's just say Austin Reeves gets a gang of playing time again this season, and then he improves drastically. That's going to be another player gone. That's going to be another player gone because the Lakers ain't going to have the money. They ain't going to have the money to keep him. Some damn team like Sacramento is going to offer him 15, $20 million, 3 or 4 years, and he's going to go take it. So the Lakers, that's why it has to be an organizational thing from top to bottom. They got to kind of make they got to kind of make smarter decisions and just uh, making the young players a little bit more of a priority, man. Not just making them an afterthought. Because I guarantee you, man, if one of these, if the Lakers are involved in the big massive 4 or 5 team, 6 team deal with Kyrie and Kevin Durant and the Suns and the Jazz or whoever the hell, however the shit go. If the Lakers are involved in one of those deals, I guarantee you somebody's gonna fucking ask for Austin Reeves. Shit, if the Jazz if the Jazz are involved, the Jazz are rebuilding. Not the Jazz, the Spurs. If the Spurs are involved, they're rebuilding. And they've let go a lot of guards. They may ask for Austin Reeves, and the Lakers are going to have to, they're going to have to trade. They're going to have to put him in a trade, and that's going to suck. But anyway, so yeah, the Lakers they just have to get their shit together and kind of prioritize these young players, and they're going to have to make room. So it's going to be interesting how this roster shakes out. Uh, yeah, I don't know why they keep doing a 2 year deal or 1 year deals with these younger guys. And yeah, man, the Lakers, you know, they don't be thinking, bro. The Lakers be too consumed with the big fish, and sometimes they forget about the little fish who got to do all the damn dirty work. If Reed has a solid year, he's gone. You're right, but he can. But we can pay the tax to keep him. They'll be they'll be interested to see if they do. Hey, man, that's all. That's just the point I'm making, man. That's just the point I'm making. They are kind of in a tough decision there, and I don't envy them. I don't want to put in them. I wouldn't want to be put in their shoes. They had to make that decision. Mississippi Dog, I never seen you before here, man. Let's salute to you. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Max Christie is so damn sorry. I watched him game after game. He doesn't have it. We should have got Jaden Hardy. Now, this is what I'll say about Max Christie. I think he's a project. Um, but here's the thing. This is one thing I noticed about, and I haven't watched a lot of the summer league. I'll watch today, and then we'll go see it in person on Tuesday. But here's one thing I noticed about Max Christie. Now we know he didn't have the best year. His 1 year in college, his shooting wasn't great, and his shooting hasn't been great in summer league either. But when you go back and look at his high school stats, man, he was a baller. Put up big numbers. So I don't know what has happened as of late. Maybe as he's progressed in the game, going to college and the NBA, maybe he's not quite strong enough. I don't know. I don't know. But one thing he can do is play defense. So if he does make it to the Lakers, might not be this season. He might have to go to the G League. But if he does make it to the Lakers, it'll be, as it stands right now, it will be because of his defense. And then, if he could develop his shot better and get his stuff together, you know, he'll be a decent player. So it's kind of like with these players, Max Christie, and then what's the other guy? The kid from Syracuse, the white guy, Swider. It's like this: Christie can't shoot, but he plays defense. Swider can shoot at an elite level, but he can't play defense. So it's kind of a mixed bag with the younger group that we have this year. Um, so yeah, man, Cole Swider. Like I said, it's crazy with Christie and Swider. Like I said, Christie he can play defense, but he can't shoot at this point. And Swider can shoot, but his defense is suspect. So that's going to be the thing that holds Swider back from getting into the league. He just has to get more solid defensively, and then because I think he can. I think he can shoot it with the best of them already. He's just some people are just fucking natural born shooters, and if you get him in a situation, if you get Swider in a situation when he's on the floor with like Kyrie, LeBron, and AD, and like whoever else, this guy's gonna be wide open. I swear to God, he's gonna be wide open almost every possession, and I just see him just draining three after fucking three, kind of like well, I call him old Jimmy Neutron from the Miami Heat. I forgot his name, not Hero, but the other white dude. But anyway, when he gets open shots, he just knocks them down. But kind of fell out of favor in Miami. Um, Cole Swider, man, he can shoot it. That's one thing I'll say about Swider. He can definitely shoot it. He's already said that he was the best shooter in the draft. So he kind of has a little chip on his shoulder too. He's kind of salty. Yeah, Duncan Robinson. Yeah, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Neutron, Duncan Robinson, Jimmy Neutron, Duncan Robinson, whatever you want to call him. But yeah, he can shoot. He can shoot. He kind of lit the Lakers up a little bit in the bubble. But so it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting. Now, Jay Huff. Now, what's y'all thoughts about Jay Huff Now, unfortunately, Jay Huff, and that's probably another. If you listen to the interviews and you listen to the coaching staff, that's another reason why the Lakers say their summer league team is struggling now because they don't have Jay Huff. But Jay Huff, we first saw Jay Huff last season, man. I wasn't impressed. I wasn't impressed. He looked like a deer in the headlights. The game looked too fast for him. He's out there prancing around. He just looked out of place. But I gotta give Jay Huff credit. I gotta give Jay Huff, and I have to give Big Mac McClung. I have to give them credit. Them dudes went down to the fucking G League and balled out and developed. And that's why McClung is gone because of the season that he had last year in the G League. Somebody recognized it and picked him up. And Jay Huff has noticeably improved uh, within the last 6 to 8 months. He has he appears to have confidence. I don't know. He played a lot of minutes down in the G League. There ain't too many guys in the G League with his size that does all the different things that he does. So he probably had, you know, he didn't really have too many tough matches. But the bottom line is, the dude improved. The dude improved. Now the Lakers, they went out, they made some moves. They got Damian Jones, and then they bought Bryant back. So it would stand to reason that they would probably not carry another center on the roster, man. But I don't know. It's early. I really do hope. I just put it this way. I hope Jay Huff gets healed or whatever real soon. He's in protocol, so it's like nothing we can do. But maybe he'll be able to test out and get out. But if Jay, I hope Jay Huff can get healthy quick, and I hope he continues to play well in the summer league and makes some noise. Now I don't want him to go anywhere because there ain't too many players like him. What is Jay Huff? Jay Huff is legit 7 foot, 7'1". Jay Huff is legit 7 foot. Can shoot threes. Basically, just what he says he concentrates on. He rebounds, blocks shots, catches lobs, and shoots threes. And he seems to, he's concentrating on those things, man. He can do those well. His shot is good enough to stretch the floor. He's challenging shots at the basket. He was blocking shots like a motherfucker in the summer league the first couple of games. So I mean, the Lakers gonna have to make some decisions, man. They're gonna have to make some decisions. I think they should give Huff a little run as far as Mike McClung goes. He's gonna get it. He's gonna get a run with the team. Yeah, I think McClung. I think he's with the Warriors. I think he got picked up by the Warriors, man, and I don't think we heard. I don't know if we're ever. I don't know if we'll ever see Mac McClung in the Lakers uniform again. But I don't think we've seen the last of Mac McClung. That's just my that's just my opinion. I don't think we've seen the last of Mac McClung in the NBA. William Gabriel should not have been signed, but his contract is non-guaranteed, so we can cut him. Yeah, we'll see, man. William came in at the last minute. William came at the last minute, so he didn't really have a lot of time. And then they had him and Stanley really, they just really had him playing in a lot of mismatches. So I don't know. But the Lakers have said, and like I told you guys before, and I was reporting before, that William Gabriel, Austin Reeves, and Stanley Johnson, bro, they were at Laker headquarters every damn day since that season ended, bro. And they put in a lot of work. The Lakers said they saw a lot of improvement. They dedicated themselves, and I think that's why they were rewarded with contracts. To be honest with you, to be frank with you, I think at least one of them gonna get traded in this deal. So I don't know if it's gonna be Austin. I don't know if it's gonna be Stanley or if it's gonna be Winging. But I'm just thinking one of them. Somebody's gonna ask for one of them, and they gonna get traded, and that's just the way it is. Yeah, Gabriel's. Yeah, no, I didn't realize he was 6'9", but he's kind of light in the ass. But yeah, I agree. That's probably one of the reasons why they kept him around because the Lakers, they just didn't have too many players. Shit, over 6'7", they just didn't have many. So I can understand why they want to keep him with his size around. But yeah, Dante, yeah, Mac, he's with the Warriors now. I don't know exactly how that went, but he's with the Warriors. Um, but you never know. The Warriors might off, they might offer him to be the 15 man on the roster. You never know. Or Mac, he may just return to Lakers G League team. I don't know. Wayne Gabriel 6'9", so I understand keeping him. He's the only one size other than LeBron and other picks. I think yeah. I think we'll see. We'll see, man. We got all these guys. We don't know. There's a lot of things unknown because we don't know who all is going to get moved in the potential Russ deal. Will it just be Russ? Will it be Russ and THT and none? Will it be Russ, THT, none, and Gabriel? Or Rush, Russ, THT, and Austin Reeves? We don't know. So until we know the little ancillary pieces that are going to go out, they're going to go out. Look at this shit. Damian Lillard says LeBron James belongs in the GOAT conversation, but passionately tweets that Michael Jordan is better. Man, Dame, don't let me get started on Dame. Don't let me get started on Damian Lillard, man. Damian Lillard want to talk shit about players taking the easy route. He want to talk shit about players take salute to GTM. What's up, GTM? He want to he want to talk shit about players taking going to other teams chasing championships, and they don't want to. They don't want to. They scared of the grind. But nigga, every chance you get to make more money, you take it. He, I don't hate about nobody. I don't hate on nobody getting no money, but you want to try to make it seem like you want to win, and you got so much damn loyalty to that damn team. How about you take less money? How about you take less money? Like the beer, James Harden. James Harden's taking less money so they can bring more people around him. Obviously, Dame, you can see nobody wants to fucking play in Portland. So wouldn't it make sense for you to maybe take less money to attract better players to come? Never mind, forget it. Never mind. Dame get on my damn nerves. Talking shit. He ain't never did anyway. Nigga hit one big shot in the playoffs. Trying to act like yeah. I ain't want to. I don't talk about Dame. I mean, Dame is cool and everything, man. But I've heard on one too many occasions about Dame talk about his money. You guys heard what I said? I've heard on one too many occasions where he's talking about how much money he's made at a certain age. The last thing he was talking about, well, yeah, I'm going to touch 400 million by the time I'm 36. So that's great. Salute to you and your family. Nobody in Lillard with the last name Lillard will ever have to work again. Great. But you don't turn around and take the most money that you could possibly make for sake winning and then want to talk shit about other people. You want to talk shit about other players who give up money to try to win. Y'all follow me? What I'm saying? He want to talk a shit. He want to talk shit about other players who giving up money to move to go to other teams where the teams can't pay him as much because they want to try to win. And just because he's comfortable losing, that's him. But he shouldn't be talking shit. They shouldn't be. He shouldn't be talking. He shouldn't be talking shit about players who decide to move when he hasn't done everything to try to help that team. The Blazers have tried to bring players around him, but has he taken less money? Hell no. Hell no. So, and I'm not saying he should take less money. I'm just saying he should shut the fuck up talking about other players. Because what's for them is for them. What's for you, for you. If you like to sit up in the Pacific Northwest in the rain and drink your damn Starbucks and it doesn't phase you whether you win or lose, that's you. But other people are just a little bit more competitive. And that's all I say about that. Goddamn Damian Lillard. The Lakers better not ever talk about bringing him to the Lakers. He ain't no damn Laker material. Right, Bill and Dame all about money. They don't want to win. If so, they would take less money or ask for a trade to win. Yeah, man. And like I said, man, don't misinterpret me talking shit about them about and saying that they should do this or do that. But I'm just saying, don't they do what they do? Don't talk crap about another player for doing what they do. That's all what I'm saying. People think just blind loyalty, and losing year after year, blind loyalty and losing year after year. I don't give a damn how much money you making. That shit gets old. Some people can live with it. Some people can't. I personally would be tired of losing, but that's just me. I personally would be tired of losing. How much money do you need? But again, that's your business. If that's how you want to roll, great. But don't talk crap about other players who decide to take another route. We got the legendary Elder in the chat. So salute to Elder. Salute to GTM. Salute to all the YouTubers in the chat. Lakers over everything. Salute to Gregory Brown. Who else we got in here? Samurai Beast Warrior jumped in here for a minute. Newcomer Mississippi Dog, I appreciate you, man. Make sure you come back, subscribe to the channel. And by the way, guys, during this NBA free agency talk and all that stuff, man, the subscribers and the watch hours and all that stuff is blowing up, and that's all because of you guys. And I appreciate you guys coming through and checking me out. I know I'm not entertaining. I'm not entertaining like some people. Some people like to make a fool of themselves, and I don't have all the basketball knowledge like some other people have. But I'm just a die-hard Laker fan, and I'm going to salute the Lake. I mean, I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to support the Lakers, win, lose, or draw. I'm not going to hate on the Lakers because they get this player, or I'm not going to not cheer for the Lakers because they have that player, or I'm not going to be pissed off because they don't get that player. I'm going to roll with the name on the front of the jersey all the time, even when they fuck up. I'll talk about them when they screw up, but I'm still always going to be a Laker fan. That's just me. Not everybody who has these kind of channels can say that. But anyway, that's just me. But anyway, salute to everybody in the chat. Everybody who came through. I'm gonna end this stream. Gotta get back to work. I appreciate you guys coming through. Who's that? I appreciate all the kind word, guys. I really do appreciate it. We may or may not drop a video before we go to Vegas, but once we get to Vegas, we're gonna drop a video too. I don't know. We'll go to at least one game in Vegas. I extended my visit, so I'll be there virtually 2 days. So we'll at least get in that Laker game, and I don't know what's going on Wednesday, but we'll do something. But should be a cool experience. I always wanted to go to summer league, and every year, man, I always have some kind of damn excuse. I'm like, man, and this year my schedule's like tighter than ever. My schedule's like tighter than ever. So I'm only actually going to be out there like 30 hours, but I'm gonna make the most of it. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and end the live stream. Once again, thanks for everybody coming through. And like I always say, um, hey, salute to Lakers over everything, man. I appreciate that. Now you guys do. Now you guys do know. You do know. I don't ask for it, but I will take. I will take donations. You know, I gotta put my cash app up there. I'll make sure I have that from now on. But I'll never ask for money because I'm not in it. I mean, anybody who does YouTube will be lying if they say they don't want money. But I don't. I'm not going to be asking for people to give me their hard-earned money. But I appreciate it though. I appreciate it, man. So salute to my homeboy, Lakers over everything. I'm gonna get out of here, man. I need some water. I gotta get back to work. So, like I always say, man, we get some more news. We get some more breaking news. You know me, man. I like to break it first. If I can, I'll break it first, and then sometimes, I'll break it down if I can, or then, if I know my man Kareem's gonna jump on, I know he'll have a full breakdown, explanation what's going on, or my main man Marcel over Lakers over everything. Um, who else? Who else? Who else? Um, you guys, you got several YouTubers in the chat. Now, if you support this channel, make sure you go to Lakers Over Everything. Support Lakers Over Everything. Good Laker basketball content. And of course, you guys know, make sure you support support Elder and his channel, where he talks about his ministry and the things that they're doing in his community. And by the way, I'm gonna find a way to hook up with Elder because everybody talks to Elder about basketball, which is fine. I love listening to Elder talk about Lakers and his basketball takes. But I got another channel. You guys don't know about it, but I'll I'll tell you about it sooner or later. But I want to talk to Elder about other things. And I think he'll be very helpful um, to talk to Elder about some, men issues and being a man, a black man in this country, relationship issues, because we got some issues going on in our community. But I think Elder can give us a lot of insight about being a good man and what's expected of being a good man. So I gotta get with Elder on the side, man. That's something, because we got mostly men in here, and not mostly black men, and there's nothing wrong with us talking about and held in our, and holding and checking ourselves and holding ourselves accountable. There's nothing wrong with that. So I need to get with Elder on the side and talk about that. Salute to Dante. Now you guys know Dante talks Lakers. I gotta get Dante on here. We got to get Dante monetized. We got to get him up to 1,000 subscribers. Another OG, legit Laker fan who talks Lakers basketball. So you guys make sure you subscribe and support to Dante Talks Lakers. Who else we got in here? Who else? Who else? Who else? But that's about it. All the regular guys, Gregory Brown. I hate that damn ring. Yeah, that's about it. But yeah, guys, I got to end this stream. Thanks for the support, guys. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out or whatever. Make sure you drop a comment. Make sure you stay subscribed to the channel. Subscribe to all the homies. You guys know who they are. And support us, man. Just support us. Uh, there's enough room. There's enough room in here for everybody. Salute to Humble. There's enough room for everybody. There's enough room for all of us to support all the Laker channels, all the basketball channels. If you can't watch the live, watch the playback. And hit the like button and leave comments in the chat, because it does help the channels, man. And there's nothing wrong with helping another brother out. Anyway, Like I always say, this is your boy, AC, LA Sports Live. I will rap with y'all later. Somebody hit that outro.